So the step one of this video is to get out of this house and drive to the airport. So why don't you come with me? Let's go. So I got my driver to drive for me instead of driving it myself because I was feeling kind of sick. So I'm in my dad's car going to the airport. All right, now that I'm at the airport, the first thing that I'm gonna go do is go to the coffee shop and get a cup of coffee, and I'll sit down and go over my flight plan all over again. I would fill out some forms, look up stuff that's important, and I would read what it's called NOTAMs, NOTAMS, Notice to Airmen. So they're basically just notices, indications, and some type of warnings, reminders that remind you of what you're gonna face during the flight. For example, um, today there are problems with the runway lights, so they're gonna say something like faulty runway lights, so you're gonna have to be cautious about it. So after all of this stuff, I would have to go over and review this with my captain again, but as the first officer, I'm gonna have to do it all by myself first. All right, after filling in the forms, documents, completing the flight plan, looking up at the weather and everything, I will just finish my coffee and then I'll walk towards my office. It's the Thai Airways office where everyone is like chilling in there. And I will punch in my ID number just to show them that I am here today. And I would go and print out some of the stuff that I need, and then I'll go and sit down with the captain and go over the flight plan. I will propose how I want the flight to be, and that's it. All right, after finishing up and reviewing the flight plan with the captain, we would just grab our bags and head straight towards the boarding gate. Sometimes the captain will follow me, sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes he has stuff that he needs to do in his office first. But as the first officer, I'm gonna have to get to the airplane first in order to do some preparations and get things ready. So I'll be at the boarding gate waiting for a bus or some small car to come and take me to the airplane. When I was on my way to the aircrew checkpoint, I met these two pilots who are from China Eastern Airlines, so they're Chinese. I said hi to them, they said hi, and then they were wondering if I know any coffee shops around here, and I was wondering the same. Pilots can't live without coffee. Okay, so I have arrived at my plane. So once I've arrived at the cockpit, my job as a first officer, I have to start up my plane from being completely switched off to start running again. So before the captain comes over, I would do what it's called a pre-flight checklist. Different planes have different checklists, but this is for my plane. You can see what I did in the next clip. So at this point, the captain would have already arrived at the cockpit and he would recheck everything that I've done. Then I will do what it's called cockpit preparation checklist. There are a lot of switches to flip, multitasking, so I didn't include that in my video. But after that, I would start the engines, engine 1 and engine 2. And then I'll go down and actually check the engines, see if they're working, if there's any problem at all. Okay, everything seems to be in order and the engines are running. So I would do what it's called before taxi checklist, and then I would ask permission and get approval from the ATC, which is called pushback approval. So pushback means the airplane gets pushed back, literally, from the airport gate by an external power.
Right, 665, found the pushback approved.
After pushback is approved, we will taxi all the way to the runway where we take off. And the directions will be given by the ATC and we'll follow exactly.
407 right, India.
Uniform 94 Hotel, hold short of whiskey.
So I was the one who asked if we're flying 07. One of the pilots in the back who's doing the radio calls, he confirmed with me that we're flying 07. So I'm the one who's controlling the flight controls right now. So I will actually taxi all the way to the runway. Someone will take the calls from the radio tower, ATC, and then I will be the one who's actually getting there. So this picture is air traffic control in Thailand, by the way. So you can see those people being smiling and working hard. All right, looks like we're ready to take off now. So we'll do the before takeoff checklist, and then I'll get approval from the ATC that we can take off, and then everything is ready, and then we'll just take off. All right, so you can see the captain was the one who was taking off, and that means that he was pilot flying and I was pilot monitoring. So I was basically just monitoring everything that he does, right? Okay, so the captain sits on the left side, I sit on the right side, remember that. And I put the camera on the captain's side because he was the he was the one who was taking off, so. Okay, so I skipped the cruising phase of the flight because it's very boring, you know? It's nothing but just cruising at 38,000 feet. That's it. And I will be the one who's monitoring. Captain will be the one who's monitoring as well. So that was it. And I also skipped the part where we do approach. Approach is very, very difficult. We have to descend the airplane and then line it up with the runway. So that time I was really busy and didn't take a video for that. But I was the one who landed the plane, so you'll see it in the next clip.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
All right, looks like this is it. We've landed at Narita International Airport in Japan. So landing is not as easy as it looks like in the video because sometimes there will be weather problems, sometimes there will be traffic, and air traffic control would have you fly many holding patterns over their airport until they can finally allow you to land. So that's something to consider. And one last thing, I'm sorry that I couldn't show you more than this because of company policies that we have. You know, basically there's a CCTV camera inside the cockpit so they can pretty much see whatever I'm doing, and the captain is always checking. So if I am too focused on taking a video myself or taking a video of the flight, they would blame me for that. So I'm just trying to be a little more cautious. But you know, after I receive my GoPro, I've ordered it, I've bought it, I will receive it in a couple days, then I would be taking videos much better than this, and then I can actually include myself in the video, and then you can see me actually working inside the cockpit, but not just the flight. So I do hope you enjoy the video. And I hope your mom enjoys the video as well. By now she probably knows how to fly a plane. She can fly with me if she wants. Ich liebe dich, baby. Bye.